Streaming worldwide. Online. G105.com.
Does anybody have any questions? Concerns? Things they've always wanted to talk about with someone other than people they know?
Yeah, so I want to, who are you listening to right now? Who do you like?
So today I listened to Def Leppard's new live record, Mirror Ball. Yesterday I listened to the new My Morning Jacket record.
That's good.
It's all good, my friend. The Head and the Heart, a band out of Seattle that I love. Civil Wars. Lots of stuff. I do a thing on my Facebook every morning. I listen to a record every morning that I can, all the way through, a full album. And so, it's been cool. I'm psyched to, there's a bunch of records I uploaded to my iPod before I left. And then what happens in the iPod world is you upload them and you forget what you uploaded, and so they just go into this sort of so I have a bunch of rad records on there somewhere that I gotta find. Yeah.
Who haven't you played with yet that you'd like to perform with on a show?
Oh man, there's a ton of people I would love to open for, or tons of people. Let's see. It would be fun to, I love Lenny Kravitz. I don't know why I said Lenny Kravitz, but I totally love him. We were talking about him today. He's such a badass.
We did one of these with Lenny here. Remember?
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, so Lenny Kravitz I think is the king. I think I'd love to tour with U2, R.E.M., the big ones.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I'm just a nerd for music, so for me to be able to do all the stuff that I get to do, meet folks who are sort of my heroes, and then play shows with my heroes, do stuff I did this thing at Daryl Hall's house, Hall and Oates. I did a thing, he does a thing up at his house, and that was really fun.
Name drop!
That was fun. You asked me to name people. I can totally name people you don't know. My Uncle Phil is fantastic, and I would love to sort of get down with him and jam. And then there's Tony down the street is awesome. It's a much less compelling experience. Anyway, yeah, that's that.
What's your favorite city to play in?
It's funny, Philadelphia is pretty fantastic. I don't know why. It's a great city, but I don't know why it's always, there's cities that are fantastic. New York City's great.
Raleigh.
Austin. There's been great shows in, everywhere. I think, you know what I mean? Because I've crisscrossed the United States enough times that there have been great shows and then some stinkers at the same place where you're oh, I'm going back to whatever, Louisville, I'm going to kill this. This was such a great show last time. And then I played there probably 30 times, and so there's good and bad. Philadelphia, for some reason, I don't think I've ever had a bad show in Philadelphia. So there's something weird and magical about that little area that I don't understand. So I've never had a stinker show there. So Philly's fun to go. That said, there'll be one now by the law.
Remember that girl.
Totally. And I'll be thank you for putting your bad juju on me. And you're oh yeah, Philly? Right, okay. All of a sudden you break a chicken's neck and you're Philly it is then.
Plus that's where Cinderella's from.
Oh, Cinderella, Tom Kiefer from Philly. You can't beat that. I often wish that I could take this guitar and just swing it around my head and have it come back up the underside and then play the solo like they did in Cinderella. For those of you who don't know, Cinderella was a metal band in the 80s that threw their guitar over their shoulders and then wrote some pretty goddamn good songs.
Verses of MTV videos of 80s hair metal bands.
Jeff LeBar. That was some hair, man. They had some hair. It looked like they could hide license plates in. You're where did I put that? Where did I put that Ford bumper? Oh, hey, hold on. Pulling it out of Jeff LeBar's head. Anything else?
You have any kind of projects coming up in the future besides the new album coming out on the 21st?
It's a lot like having a baby. As soon as the baby's born, as soon as it starts to happen, everything else disappears, and then the baby's born and you're nothing else exists but this baby thing. So that's what the record's like. So the only projects I have are literally revolve around the record. I would love to do, I always have this grand ambition to when I'm on tour, I'm going to do a side project with all these bands that we tour with, and wouldn't it be great to shoot videos of us playing, and dude, you just get devoured by your child. So the record just kind of cannibalizes all the time, which is kind of awesome. it's like definitely makes it hard to multitask. But yeah, so no projects anytime soon. But maybe like a Spider-Man musical. I thought that would be kind of cool.
Or maybe by project, maybe like ending up in the tabloids for dating Jessica Biel now that she's single, or something like that.
Jessica Biel's single? Awesome. That would be fun. That's a project. That is definitely a project. I was thinking about stealing a car. Like, that's a project, too. Like, while we're at it, there's a couple things I've always wanted to do. So, yeah, I'll probably steal a car and date an actress.
Tweet pictures of his wiener.
I'm going to tweet you.
That's right.
Yeah, I got to do some push-ups before your man is stacked on the upside of his, and then the situation down there, did you see that thing? That looked like a weapon.
We were hanging out in the break room before, and we wanted to know whether you thought Wiener should resign.
You know, I'm not a big fan of. Here's the deal: like, if it's a newsflash to anybody that politicians are terrible, scummy humans, like, then you need to get a reality check. So I think, like, having it dawn on people that some dude was sort of an idiot and sent. If he didn't do anything illegal, I don't think he should resign. It's like I mean, it's like literally every politicians are. I know rock star people that are more sort of like moral compass oriented. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, for me, it's like if he didn't steal anything and he didn't do anything terrible, it's like showing your ding dong to some women on the internet. I mean, and cheating on your wife, it's like that's for his situation. That's for them to figure out, you know. But so it's a weird world where, like, we celebrate celebrity and stupidity, and yet we want to have someone resign because we think that working for the government is any different. Like, there should be, you know what I mean? That they're not voted in. They're voted in for their skill. Right? So it's a funny world, right? Yeah. So no, I don't think he should resign. I think they should take out a huge billboard of his penis, like in Times Square. That's what I think.
I think you should shoot a movie with Heidi Mattag.
Oh, dude, yes.
And Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, and just Charlie Sheen's in the corner, like, talking to himself. Heidi's like sort of like inflating her lip with whatever they use to do that, like a light pump. And then and Wiener's just sitting there, like, bench pressing himself. So yeah, I'm down with that movie. Any other questions?
What was the hardest part about working on the new album?
Oh, man. The hardest part is that I do not work fast, like, at all. It's sort of like, so I was really confident going into the record, and I was feeling really good about it, but the process, it happened recently where I did a graduation speech, right? And so I knew 6 months in advance that I had to do a graduation speech. And I literally was sitting on the stage in front of like 2,000 people, writing the speech right before they're like, and next, Matt Nathanson's going to do the commencement speech. Like, and I'm writing, like, I'm like, oh, I'm listening to other people's speeches, and I'm like, that sounds great. Like, I'm sort of like, I'm re-engineering my speech in the process. Songwriting for me is even worse because I take those, because songs to me are deadly serious, right? Like, they are the thing that matter most in the world to me. Not only my songs, but most other people's songs. Like, when you hear Bob Dylan, Visions of Johanna, it's hard to be like, put in no effort into your own song. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like, I gotta work at this. And so it's just sort of like tenfold difficult because I spend so much time. And what's so great about recording an album, the key to it is that you have to let go and really allow the song to kind of come through you. And when your brain is engaged and you're trying so hard, it's like the enemy of that. So you spend a really long time trying to let go. You spend a really long time trying to make these songs do what you want them to do, and then it takes you that long to kind of figure out that you've got to acquiesce and let the song sort of be, and that's when it's at its best. So it's a pretty wild process, and it's like Groundhog's Day. Like, because every song, it's like you get the same thing. You're like, oh, I forgot about this. That if I just let it go, it works, you know, but every time. So that's always the toughest.
Are you on like a deadline, or is it just kind of whenever you feel like
my
it?
label thinks I'm on a deadline, for sure, which is cool. It's nice when you have that kind of like enthusiasm,
right.
You know? But I don't have a deadline. Yeah, but I've made 9 records, so I really feel pretty compelled to follow that what's the song is God, is how I feel. Right. And so it's like nothing else really matters. And so you just sort of, you sort of show up when the song, you wait around for the song to decide it wants to hang out, you know?
Despite the title of the single, Faster.
Yeah, that was like wishful thinking at its finest. Like, yeah, fast, awesome. Next one will be called, like, Let's Take Lunch. Yeah. Anything else? This is fun.
What's your story?
Oh, he's my mute eunuch friend. He has no genitalia and he can't speak.
What's your name anyway?
This is Aaron.
Aaron, okay.
And Aaron and I grew up together in Boston.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, and he's like a ninja. Like you never see the ninja speak, you just feel their blade.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. That's fun. Yeah. I feel like I didn't answer for you. I just know that he's not. You know, it's like Penn and Teller.